All right. Hello, everybody. It's Jen Thode with YourColorStyle.com, and I am streaming live on YouTube for the very first time. It's not my first time on Zoom, but it is my first time connecting to YouTube. So please forgive me if there's any weird technical snafus. No matter what, this is going to be recorded, and you will be able to always see the recording out on YouTube, just in case something weird happens. So if you're joining me live, I'm so happy to see you, and thanks for being here. So I'm going to go ahead and hit record now, and I'm going to be sharing with you guys some really cool stuff today. So just looking for my cursor that disappeared for a second. Okay, recording. Perfect. And now we are recording. Perfect. Okay. All right. Hello, everyone. It's Jen Thode with YourColorStyle.com, and I'm streaming live on YouTube. We are going to go through about 4 photos that have been submitted to me through the Ask Jen page. If you're curious about what that is, it's yourcolorstyle.com/askjen, and you get to submit to me your questions or photos, both maybe, and I will answer them in a future video or maybe even a live stream like this. Okay, so I go through them from oldest to newest as best I can. I get a lot of them, and I only choose the ones that have the best lighting and angles that I can see enough detail where I can make a faster analysis live versus having to study a little bit more, get more photos. That's when we start to get into really needing the actual paid service. Okay, so 4 lucky individuals get to be on this live stream today. They don't know who they are, and I've only glanced at these photos. So I've gone through, made sure that they have enough lighting and detail, and I try to pick a variety of different skin tones and colors so that you can learn something and maybe find someone that looks similar to you and learn something about your own coloring and your best color palette. Okay, so I'm going to be sharing my screen because we're going to do a lot of this through Photoshop. I like to do a little colorizing. If you see my videos before, you know what I do, and I'll be talking through some stuff. So we're going to do 4, and it should only be, 15, 20 minutes or so. Okay. If you want an opportunity for your photo to be out on and analyzed by me live, you have to submit your photo and questions to the Ask Jen page. Okay. And if you are not a subscriber just yet, you please subscribe to the newsletter. You can visit yourcolorstyle.com and you can subscribe to the newsletter so you can be notified of all kinds of cool things like this that are going to be happening. Okay, so now let's get started. I'm going to be sharing my screen. Here we go. All right. Let me go here, share screen, and share my screen here. There we go. All right, so I'm going to go down here to my Photoshop screen here. Okie dokie. I want to lean over here. If you see me doing a weird angle, it's because I'm going to close the blinds so that I'm not blinded by what I'm seeing on the screen. Just one second. Had the blinds open so that I had better lighting on me, but now I can't see my screen. So I'm a little light flashed here. Okay, so I chose this nice lady because she has this gray blend, which is very common, right? And it's a little hard sometimes to figure out what colors fit best on you when your hair is changing like this. So I'm gonna just give you a couple things I'm seeing. I'm seeing some really warm earthiness in her eyes, like almost like a golden yellow. And let me see, the photo's a little out of focus. I almost didn't pick it, but I love the color combination. And I really wanted to be able to share with you guys some of these unusual combinations, which I think a lot of us fit into. And there's nobody talking about them anywhere, right? So she's got these warm eyes and this gray blend hair. And so it's not exactly clear if she's warm or cool, bright or soft. So my first gut analysis here is that she's not bright, she's soft. Her hair has this blend, it's a very soft, not much brightness. Her eyes in this photo don't seem very bright. I wish I had a better, more in focus image. This is why I have to skip over so many photos, by the way. it's really hard for me to see if there's a photo that's been taken in a closet or in a bathroom or, on the couch at a weird angle. Like all those things, I need better photos than that. So if you really want to have your photo analyzed by me, it needs to really be straight on the camera in overcast early morning light outside, not sunny shade, not sunshine, or in front of a nice bright north facing window with the inside lights turned off. Okay. Facing the camera with a closed mouth, relaxed smile. I mean, don't frown at me. At least give me a little bit of a smile, right? So in this case, it's also a little out of focus. So it's a little hard to see. So we're just going to do the best we can because I wanted to show you this combination. I have a feeling that there are a lot of people that have these warm eyes, but their hair is cooled down. And so what kind of color palette is going to work best on them? So I'm going to go ahead and play with her lips here. And if you've seen me do this before, I love to colorize the lips. One of the viewers actually emailed me recently and told me that I was making it too hard on myself and that it was so easy just to see the coloring. Why was I doing all of this extra work? And the reason I do a lot of this extra work is for you guys that are watching. If I just told you what I think she is right off the bat without any sort of evidence, well, first of all, it's not any fun. And secondly, you don't learn anything. So I like to kind of go through the process, even if I pretty much already know. Sometimes I actually don't, though. I mean, that's the thing. Like, sometimes I actually need to do a little thinking. And so this kind of buys me some time. So I don't make it too hard on myself. I actually like doing it this way. So I'm going to do this. We're going to make a selection here. Why am I struggling? I think, because I have to do this. There we go. When you're live, you suddenly forget all the things that you're supposed to know. I don't know. It's just true. Okay, so here are her lips. Let me just label those real quick here. Okay, I'm going to do a little colorizing of her lips, and let's just see if I can conclude anything simply from doing that. Now that just colorized her blue. We certainly don't want that. Now, I will tell you, because her eyes are so warm, my impression of her is that she is warm, even though her hair has cooled off a bit. Okay. So let's do this first. Let's put on her a cool pink. Okay, that's a bright and cool. So if you are someone who's bright and cool, this lip would not look so foreign on you. It might be still feel bright and dramatic, but it would look far more at home. And on her, no, that doesn't work at all. Now she's also very fair, so we're going to lighten it up a little bit, and that doesn't work for me. And we're going to soften it too, just because I want to see if the brightness was a problem. And clearly, I hope you see it too. These blue pinks on her are just not in harmony. And when I say harmony, it's you want to wear colors that kind of pick up other colors that are in your skin and coloring. It's there, even if you don't see it right away. And there's just no blue or pink hues in her, not enough to make this lip color work. So I'm going to go over now to the more orangey reds. And I have to saturate this up a little bit, darken it a tiny bit. That's a little too dark. And this is a bright and warm color. Really bright. I'm bright and warm. I don't know if I'd wear a bright color like this unless it was a special occasion, but it wouldn't look so painted on me. I feel like it's a little painted on her. And when that happens, I think maybe she's more soft. And I'm starting to see like this is a nice, softer, warm lip. Also something that can be worn by a bright and warm person. So I definitely like her warm. So we're going to say she's warm. So now the real question is she bright or soft? And because I can't see the clarity of her eyes from the photo, I want to automatically say that she's soft. But that's not fair, because if her eyes are like a real bright golden yellow, which I have seen, it's possible that she wears some brighter colors well. So I'm going to drape her here. I'm going to put this little shape around her face. Okay. Just go down here. It's not a real shape, but it does put some color next to her face. And I want to move this one up just like under her chin like that. Okay. And let's see here. Let me create a new layer so I don't overdraw on top of her lips. Okay. Let's pick a color that's in the warm. Like this is a cool magenta, bright magenta. So that just for kicks, if you want to see, that's what she looks like in a bright magenta. Not loving that at all. In fact, now I actually see the warmth in her skin where I really didn't see it before. So let's go over to a orangey red, like yeah, maybe not too orange, like that, and brighten it up a little bit there. Okay, like that. And let's do it again. And see, that feels really good to me. And actually looks pretty good, even with the bright. So I'm thinking maybe she's bright and warm. And let me just go a little lighter here, like a peach. Yeah, she's definitely warm. I hope you guys can see what I can see. I definitely feel that she is warm. And let me just put a muted color on her like that. That would look really perfect on someone who's soft and warm. And yeah, she looks really quite nice in the soft. One more thing here. But if I do bright, let's do neon like that. How's she looking? I actually really like her in the brighter colors. She might be right in the middle. And this is often true for someone who is more fair. Someone like me, for example, who is bright, warm, and light, like some of the bright colors work really well, but I can also wear some of the softer colors okay. Overall, I prefer the brighter colors. And so sometimes it's personality, but sometimes you're just kind of right in the middle. And so you kind of have to choose what you really like to wear. I'm gonna put this goldenrod on her. And oh, I really like that. And if I were to go more like this softer version of this color, it's not as great, but she could totally wear it. So here's what I think. If I were to tell her to choose a color palette, a fan, I would say that she is bright, warm, and is she light or is she medium? Oh, hold on a second. Mediums wear like this color really, really well. Oh, interesting. Now, the reason I'm not confident that she's light is because she's got some medium tones in her hair and her eyes seem a little bit earthy, like not as delicate as someone who's bright, warm, and light. So let's try like a green like that. Yeah, interesting. And let me go a little deeper here. Like that. Okay. My analysis is that she is bright, warm, and medium. Doesn't mean she can't wear softer colors. And maybe as her hair maybe in another 10 years, maybe if the hair was grayer, maybe we shift to softer. But right now, I'm thinking she can actually wear the brighter colors really well. And I'm seeing bright, warm, and medium. So if you have that gray blend, but still have those warm, earthy, golden eyes, you might be warm, and it's a matter of just kind of figuring out, do you wear the brighter colors better or the softer? So I hope that helps. Let's go on to the next one. Actually, I want to save her to the end. No particular reason except that I had an order in my head. So I love her coloring. This is a very common photo that I get as far as color combinations go, because it is really challenging at first glance to figure out if this person is warm or cool. And so she has a very neutral quality about her. She has I see coolness in her, but I could also see how maybe she might be warm. And this is that olive skin tone that I refer to all the time in some of my videos, and people ask about it all the time as well. And that olive skin tone, I think that one of the reasons people call it olive, sometimes because it actually has a bit of a green hue. Also, though, it's a skin that is a blend of both cool and warm. So you get that it's like a greenish color almost, but it also neutralizes you and can make you look and feel and appear neutral. I hear that this makes getting makeup done at a makeup counter really, really challenging. And by the way, figuring out your color palette that looks good to wear is not the same thing as figuring out your foundation. A lot of people who come to me want me to tell them what kind of foundation they should get because they have olive skin tone or neutral skin tone, and they have a challenge trying to figure out their best makeup. I can't do that through a photo. It is challenging enough to color analyze a photo because the lighting can always be skewed. That's why when you sign up for a color analysis with me, you get a kit with cards that you can hold to your face and photos, and I have a point of reference. It's very, very different than just doing it off the cuff. So I'm basing these off of the photo only. Just a caveat, like based on the lighting, it could mean that I got it wrong. I don't like being wrong, but it's always possible. Okay. And foundation, makeup really needs to be in person by someone that you trust, and that is an expert at skin tone matching. Okay. So off the counter or what am I trying to say? Off the shelf foundation colors may not work because it's so specific. You need something so specific. So I'm sorry that I can't help you with that, but we are going to learn whether or not she can wear cool colors best or warm colors best. And the reason that I've kind of skipped over bright and soft, because I have an assumption that she can wear bright colors really well because of her very deep hair. I see eyes that have brown and a kind of a hazily quality to them. They also seem to kind of have like a cool rim around the outside. So they're not necessarily obviously warm to me. They're kind of right in the middle, just like her skin to me is kind of right in the middle. And I'm assuming based on the fact that she took this outside, I can tell the lighting is good enough. So we're just going to go with that. And so now this is one person that I'm not 100% confident what her color type is. So we're going to discover it together. So here we go. I'm going to colorize her lips. And there are other things that I do, again, because we get photos in a paid service. When someone pays us to do a professional color analysis, there are photos with the color cards. And so I also look at those, and it's a different kind of photo. I have a different kind of reference to their coloring with that. Since I don't have that, I go straight to the lips in this case. Okay. So we're going to, and I love that she did a closed mouth. It makes it so much faster and easier than jumping around the teeth. So we're gonna make a selection here. Okay, we're gonna copy and paste. Okay. And we're going to do what we do. We're going to colorize those lips. All right. Oh, and obviously we don't want to colorize her green. It's curious why it always picks a color to go to straight away. All right, that is just no. She's deep. So you're deep when you have a really dark feature, really dark hair, really dark skin, really dark eyes. Okay, so you could have lighter hair, but really, really dark eyes. And I might put you into the deep category because you can tolerate those darker colors because it's naturally in you. So she's got really, really dark hair. And so she is already deep, which means that deeper colors are going to be extremely flattering on her, which is why I go deep right away, okay, with the coloring. Now this is, let me just brighten up it to be a little bit exaggerated. This would be a bright, warm, and deep lip. And the photo itself is a little hazy, so I don't know if it's the comparison of this bright, perfect lip against the hazy quality of the photo, or it's just that it's just really strong on her. But I don't hate it, kind of like it. But let's look at her in the cool. Ooh, it's really pretty. Really strong though. So let's soften this up a bit. Let me just mute this lip, okay? So it's more like, it's even more. Let's mute it like that. And we lightened up a tiny bit. Okay, so that's a cool, soft lip, still pretty strong. I think a bright and cool person could also wear that. Let me just soften up a little bit more. Really like that on her. It's really interesting. And if I go here, too muted, so I have to go back up now. This is the way it works. That's a soft and warm lip. Soft and cool, soft and warm. So she's definitely very neutral, where either one is not offensive. Like I'm not like put off by either, but I'm leaning towards cool. When I put the cool on my eyes tend to feel more relaxed. Like, yeah, this is something that just takes practice. From looking at so many different individuals over the years, I look at her and I think, yeah, that feels better. When I put the warm colors on her, again, it's not that I don't think it looks bad but it doesn't do the same thing for me. I just think, could be better. And so I'm going to go with the cool. Now, the question for me really is she bright or is she soft? And I'm feeling like she's more soft. So let's close the deal here. Okay. So she's definitely cool and deep. And good news though, the cool and deep. So that means basically any of the cool and deep colors, those are colors that have black added, and they're very similar to colors that are in the bright, cool and deep palette. The biggest difference between bright, cool and deep and soft, cool and deep is that someone who's bright, cool and deep typically has a very high contrast about them and looks really, really good in bold geometric patterns, white and black, and high contrast against their coloring. When we look at someone like her who has a lower contrast between hair, skin, and eyes, that's a softer look. And it might be that she looks better for every day in these softer colors. And maybe she can wear because of her depth of her hair, she can probably wear a brighter color when she wants to, it's a special occasion, or when she's just feeling very bold and wants to do something like that. So let's go ahead and just put a shape close to her face here. Okay. And layer. Okay. And let's pick a color that only looks good on bright, cool, and deep. I'm already feeling this is going to be awesome. Yeah. So that's really beautiful on her. And you know what? Her lips can actually be a little bit more. I could give her a little bit, yeah, a little bit more, maybe even a little bit like that. That's really pretty. So that's cool and deep. Coming over here where it's a little bit more muted, like that. What happened? I hate it when it gives me grief. Okay, go back over here. And I want to give me a color. Why is it giving me a hard time? Okay. All right, so there's a softer color. Yeah, and then let's just do a bright just to be sure. Like someone who is bright, cool, and deep can wear this bright magenta really, really well. And yeah, you know, I don't love her in that. I'm going to put her back down here in the cool and deep category. And yeah, that's just beautiful. I love that. So she is soft, cool, and deep. So if you have that olive skin tone, you look similar to her with those eyes that kind of look warm, but kind of look cool. It's possible that combination of both warm and cool softens you, neutralizes you a little bit. And when that happens, you're often soft. Not completely, not all the time, but often I've noticed that. And the depth with those nice deep colors are going to be just beautiful on her. Okay, let's do one more. All right. All right. So I chose her because, well, it's a great photo with the lighting, but also I get a lot of questions from redheads, ranging from bright coppery red to more of like a strawberry blonde here, deep auburns, brownish reds, once were red are now more brown but have some red in it, etc. With the blue eyes and the very fair skin. And oftentimes they're told that they have cool undertones, and that doesn't feel right all the time. And so it kind of causes some confusion because their hair is warm no matter what. They have orange in their hair and yellow in their hair. So it's very confusing. Those are warm colors. So she gave me an eye. I just want to, what do I do that? Oh, you know what? I don't think I opened up the eye. I remember thinking now that I brought her into, because she's got very similar coloring. So we actually have an extra one here. And they're very similar in coloring. So she has these bluish gray eyes. They're a little bit bright. She's got this red hair with some blonde in it. She's very fair. She describes herself that she actually tans really well, and then she kind of feels warmer when she tans. So let's take a look. Now, my first impression is that she's probably bright because she has just some brightness about her, brightness in her eyes. I think that she is light to medium in her coloring. Since her hair has so much pigment in it, that it leans me towards medium. I don't think she's cool, even though she looks like she should have cool undertones in this photo. So let's take a look here. I'm gonna do what I always do because I really want to see her in a warm lip, and because I feel like that's going to just basically tell me right away. Because if she had cool undertones, a cool pink lip will look perfect on her, and the same for the warm lip. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, and I'm gonna just do that. Oh, not that one. I don't want that one. Get rid of that. Okay. All right, and yeah, okay. So let's just stay here for a second. Just put her in a cool lip. Let's brighten this up. Ooh, it's like a candy pink. I don't really like that color, but let's get, no, that's not gonna work. Okay, well, she's so fair. So I want to put a light lip. So that's kind of a light candy pink. You don't have to love that color, but I do think that if she had cool undertones and she was with her light coloring, light delicate coloring, she would look pretty good in that. But I'm really not liking that at all. So let's go over to the orangey reds here. And I'm gonna have to go a little darker to get some saturation in there. It's a little too orange. I don't love that color. Go a little more red. It's kind of matching her lips a little bit. I still kind of like it though. I like it better than the cool, for sure. Like you can't go too dark with her because her coloring is so fair that the lighter, brighter colors, no matter what, are going to look good on her. Now, if you're curious, like if I put something muted on her, do you see where it doesn't really do anything for her? She definitely needs that extra color to kind of balance out the hair and the eyes a little bit. So I like the brighter, lighter colors on her, but I don't like cool. Notice that when I put the cool next to her, now it doesn't look right. Like she definitely has warmth in her, even if it's not obvious. So I'm gonna put this back here, like it's about like that. So let's put a warm color on her. Okay, let's just play for a second. Because if she is bright, warm, medium, like I think that she is, then there are some colors that really are only gonna look good on her and not on someone with cool undertones. So I'm gonna give a new layer here. And let's pick a golden yellow because I think that she's a little on the light side here. We're going to do like an apricot. Okay. And it's a warm color. It seems really intense on her. But if I were to go soft like that, I don't think that's going to do her justice at all. No. All right. Let's play with let's see, more of a tomato red, I think, on her, like that. It's very common sometimes when you have colors. Oh, sorry, it flipped on me. Here we go. See, that looks really, really great on her. It's very common that when you've got a dominant color on you, so in her case, like an orangey yellow, right, in her hair. I mean, it's obviously not fluorescent, or someone who has very, very blonde, like yellow hair. sometimes wearing that exact color or color that matches it can actually not feel good. Maybe because it's just too matchy, or it's just not the exact color. And therefore it's like putting two colors together that are similar but different. And it's like, it doesn't look right for some reason. It's not that it's not in their color palette, but it just doesn't feel right. And so not every single color in your color palette might be, it might, what am I trying to say? Not every single color in your color palette is going to be perfect, especially if you have something unique about you. So it's a guideline. It is a color palette that all the colors should look good on you, but there's always going to be an exception. Maybe you just don't like it, like a certain color. That's one thing. Or you've got something unique about you that just makes one color just not work. That doesn't mean that you're not that color type, or that's not your color palette. Okay. So I just know, I'm just going to play for 1 second here. I just know that like colors like this on her are going to look so good. Yeah, I mean, look at that. Wow, it's so pretty. And if I go like to a gray, I just want to make sure. See, I don't think that the muted colors are nearly as pretty as these lighter, brighter colors on her. See, it's really hard to tell. So I'm making an assumption too. I'm making an assumption that if I were to see her in person, that things would seem brighter than they are in this photo. If I go exactly by this photo, like I kind of like her in this gray blue. I mean, it's not great, but we've already seen her in the muted lip, and I just don't like her on that. I like her in the brighter colors. And let's see here, like this brighter, like sea foam here on her. Like that's going to be so pretty. And it is always a little bit bright on screen than it would be in real life. And if we go a little bit deep, for someone who's bright, warm, and medium with red hair, they can typically handle some of the deeper colors. Like, look at that. That is gorgeous. And let's go one more. Let's do like a olivey, like like limey green, which also is something that looks pretty good on someone that's bright, warm, and medium, but with the blue hair, maybe not. I mean, not the blue hair, the blue eyes and the red hair, maybe not so much. This is okay. I feel like if she had hazel eyes, it would be absolutely perfect, And let me see this nice rich brown. Yeah, that's really pretty too. So I'm going to, based on this photo, say that she is bright, warm, and medium. Even though she's very light and delicate, I think that she can definitely wear some of the richer colors in the bright, warm, and medium palette, but it looks like she might want to stay away from some of the like more yellowy colors. I didn't really love some of these yellows on her, and I don't know why. I just don't for some reason, but maybe you do. You're looking at this, maybe you like them very much. But if you put a cool magenta on her, yeah, see, that's not going to work. That's too bright anyway. But even so, if we were to do something more like a soft mauvey purple, again, no. So she's definitely warm. I feel bright. So bright, warm, and medium for her. Like a nice peach would be really pretty too. Yeah. Okay. So that's bright, warm, and medium. And you know what? I have this one up. So let's do this one too. This is the one that I thought I had an eye. Oh, I do. So see, she's got this eye. I'm glad she sent it. I love close-up of eyes. It really is telling for me. It gives me a sense of whether or not someone naturally has like earthy tones in them or not. It's just one more clue. It's not always the answer, especially if you have red hair. She has these nice gray blue eyes, more maybe a little bit more blue than gray. She has this natural red hair. And as you can see, it's very similar to the individual that we just looked at, except that I think that her skin is far more warm than the last person. And I feel like this lip color on her is I don't think is best. It seems a little bit too light and pink on her. And she has this earthy auburn quality to her hair that tells me that she definitely needs those rich tones on her. And this pink is just too Barbie pink for her coloring. It's too delicate. It's more of a bright, warm, and light color, maybe even a bright, cool, and light color. And I think she can do better than that. So let's do better for her, right? All right, let's go here. And what? Okay, and of course it goes to green. Awesome. It's just awful. All right, and we're going to brighten this up a little bit and darken it some too, because it's just too, that's just too orange. Let's fix that. My goodness. Okay, that's a little bit too much in general. Let's lighten that up a little bit. She's not that deep. All right, that looks really great. Let me just show you. If I hide, see the difference? There's the pink, and then there's the warm, much warmer lip. It's subtle, but it's already better. Now, if I move over to a cool pink, I hope you can see how warm she is next to that pink. And now over here, that's like a nice orangey red. It looks really, really great. Now, I already made the assumption that she's bright, but if we were just to soften this, someone who's soft, warm, and medium would look okay and natural in this softer red here. But for her, I feel like it's just like we need that color with her beautiful hair and beautiful eyes. So that is already better. So we are bright and warm. I am confident she's medium, but just so that you guys can enjoy the process a little bit, I'm going to do the same thing one more time for you here. Wouldn't want to leave you hanging with some fun color draping, right? And let's look at her in this golden rod color that I already have up. See now, see how warm she is? And that color looks amazing on her. Well, it didn't look that right on the previous, even though they had very similar coloring, because her skin has more warmth. It's more obvious to me that she's warm. And this color just looks amazing on her. We can do an earthier brown on her, like an orangey, like burnt sienna. Oh, look at that. Gorgeous. Just gorgeous. And if we do a tomato red, a brighter tomato red. Again, how beautiful is that? She's going to be able to wear pretty much the full spectrum of bright, warm, and medium, which has some just beautiful colors, these rich greens. Yeah, there you go. So she is bright, warm, and medium, hands down. So I hope that that was really fun for you. I'm going to stop sharing. Okay, and so I'm back on camera. All right. And I hope that was fun. I hope you learned something, and I hope you just enjoyed going through my thought process as I look at these different individuals and these unique color combinations. You can see how people can be similar and different, and I'm always learning every time I do this. So if you want to be considered to be color analyzed on a live stream, please visit yourcolorstyle.com/askjen. There's a link that will be also in the description below. And you can submit your question and photo to me, and I will get to it in a future video. I will tell you, there's quite a queue, and I do the best I can. Either way, join me every Saturday. Usually I do it a little earlier, but today I was waiting on a new washer and dryer because our dryer broke, and we had to get those installed, and so the day just got by me. But normally it's a little bit earlier. If you are not following me on Facebook, that's where I usually make my announcements of when I will be doing another live stream. So please visit the Your Color Style Facebook page and follow, and that way you'll be notified of any of those events. Okay. And if you are just trying to figure out your best colors, take the quiz, yourcolorstyle.com/quiz. And there are tons of photos and videos that will walk you through and explain things. It's quite in depth. Well, I guess a little bit more than a quiz, but we'll really walk you through all those steps and hopefully get you to the point of discovering your best color palette. And now on the quiz, once you get to the end, you'll get a mini color palette that just has, I think it's 14 colors that I feel work really well on you. And then you can pin that to your Pinterest board or put it onto your phone or whatever to have with you. Okay. So thank you so much for watching. I'm Jen Thoden, and I'll see you guys in another video. Take care.